Hey everyone, welcome back to the YouTube channel. So today we're going to be talking about spinal stability, and we're going to be touching on two separate muscle groups over the next two videos. Today in particular, we're going to be talking about a certain group of core muscles that help us move out of extension, into a position that might help us get more depth when training the squatting pattern. So specifically the muscle that we're going to be talking about today is the transverse abdominis, which is a really deep core muscle that lies underneath our six pack. This muscle group helps us get the stack of our rib cage over our hips and takes us out of this really extended position. If we can get our ribs over our hips into this stacked position, it's going to help us externally rotate our pelvis a little bit more and get a little bit deeper in our squatting pattern. So what Josh is demonstrating, is moving from the extended position and getting more of a stack of his ribs and his hips together, as that core muscle contracts. We're going to go through some exercises on how we can get that TA muscle or the transverse abdominis contracting and getting a little bit stronger. So if you are having problems with being too extended or you can't get the stack of your ribs over your hips, we'll go through that now. So a really nice exercise to learn how to engage the TA and start practicing a stacked position is a tabletop exercise. So with this exercise, what we want to do is start in a hook lying position on the floor. Naturally, you will feel a little bit of arching under the lower back. The first thing we want to do, is take away the arching of our lower back and try and flatten the lower back as best as we can. A really nice way to do that is to rotate the hips posteriorly or tuck your hips under, and you should start to feel your lower back flatten on the ground. What we want to do from here is one leg at a time, lift our hips and our knees up to 90 degrees without losing the flatness in our lower back on the ground. So we want to avoid arching as we lift both of our legs up to 90. So Josh, if you bring your second leg up as well. Cool. So once we're in this position here, you should slightly feel your core engage without doing anything but keeping your lower back flat on the ground. What we want to do with this exercise is move our knees over our hips, so they're not over our belly. From here, gravity is going to act a little bit harder on our core, and we should start to feel our deeper core muscles engage that little bit more. In this position here, what we want to think about doing is exhaling out of our mouth. And as we exhale out of our mouth, we want to think about drawing our belly button to the floor. And every time we inhale, we want to ensure that we're not arching our lower back, as we inhale through our nose. So what Josh is going to do is go through 12 inhales and exhales, just making sure that his knees aren't coming back over his stomach and he's not arching through his lower back throughout this movement. So a progression on the tabletop hold that we just demonstrated before, is to add a cable and a rope, What this does is this forces you to hold a bit of a stronger contraction through your upper abs, and avoid getting pulled into extension by the resistance of the cable. So what Josh is going to do here is he's going to maintain some straight elbows and pull the rope over his sternum. And then this position here, it will force him to crunch through his upper abs a little bit, as he lifts his legs up into tabletop, just ensuring knees don't go back over the stomach, making sure heels are in line with knees, and holding here for around 30 to 45 seconds, trying to resist the cable pulling him back into extension. So now we're getting both, a contraction through his upper abs and a contraction through his transverse abdominis, which is that deeper core muscle, creating a really nice stacked canister position, ready for him to then go over and squat. So if you find you're lacking a little bit of spinal stability, or you can't move out of a really extended position going into something like a squat, try these two exercise progressions where we're really trying to create the stack or that canister position through activating our transverse abdominis. Getting really strong at these movements will help transfer into the barbell in being able to avoid the extension and getting stuck on the way down or losing depth. If you have any questions, feel free to comment on this video or shoot us a DM on Instagram.